Hello everyone and welcome to Minor Instance episode 21 covering Major Crimes season 3 episode 2 Personal Day. This was a really great episode.
It was really great.
Okay. On the crime side, we had a young man who was released from prison. Julio had been the arresting officer and been the one to get him into prison. And he was finally released after 17 years of serving a 20-year sentence for shooting a girl. But he kept saying he was innocent. He didn't while he was in trial and everything, but when he got out, he was like, no, look, I didn't do it, but I want to find the person who did. They start that one, but they're not taking it too seriously. And then videos come around that make them question, hey, maybe he was telling the truth. And then the kid ends up dead. And then Julio feels bad about it, and Sharon's like, Julio, it's not your fault. And like, that was a whole thing.
I just want to point out the kid's name is Dante.
Dante?
And the girl that he shot's name was Anna.
That's cute. Heavy Raider and Sanchez episode. Like, they did a very good job of it.
I don't think there's been a Heavy Raider Sanchez episode.
Not really, no. Not since the closer, at least. And it wasn't even Raider then. Not really. Come to find out, the guy who was their key witness in the trial 17 years ago was the one who did it. And killed not only Dante, but killed the girl that Dante was said to have killed before.
There wasn't like a million stories going on this time.
And I appreciated that. It was heavy on how Sanchez handled himself with other people. Because he blamed himself not only for Dante being murdered, but how he reacted when he arrested Dante.
Sanchez has had a short fuse the last couple of episodes.
He really has.
He's like on the brink.
Yeah, because the guy who was their key witness, who, for the sake of this and what his nickname was on the show, his name was Shrimpy. We're gonna keep calling him Shrimpy. Julio essentially attacked Shrimpy while they were in the not interrogation. What would you call it? The interview room.
Yeah.
But it was like their side interview room, like their conference room. Sharon was like, Julio, you need to cool your temper, friend. Not in those words.
No.
Yeah, that's what she
Sharon
said.
would never say it in those words.
But we're finding out more about Julio, and I'm wondering, is something going on with him that he's like this? Yeah.
He's like never, he never loses his temper like that, and he has the last
He does. He has before,
but not
there was
so many times in a row.
Right. Exactly.
So there definitely has to be something going on in his personal life that he's not telling anyone. Maybe he's on that diet that Flynn was on last year.
Yeah, though. Not only that, he went to, because the woman, Dante's grandmother, who was the one that called in that Dante was dead, she essentially told them that her other two sons were also murdered and nothing was done about it. Like, it wasn't taken seriously. And Julio, after Dante died, he took it upon himself to tell her that he was going to use his personal time in order to find the people who killed her sons, which meant a lot to him and to her. And then he started crying at the end of the episode.
It's really sad.
It's really sad. Now we have the personal front with Sharon and Rusty. We had a lot of Sharon and Rusty this episode. I was very pleased with it. Provenza took a personal day in order to take Rusty to see his biological mother, Sharon Beck. I say biological because...
Biological.
So he took a personal day in order to take Rusty to get his mother and bring her to the office to apologize to everyone there. But then we find out she's not apologizing to everyone. She just wants to apologize to Sharon. When she gets there, Sharon calls her out. She asks her what place she was staying in for her rehab treatment. Sharon Beck told her, and here it was a place that the police...
It's like court order.
Like it's a normal court order rehab.
When she was like, they were like, you can go to jail or you can go to this court appointed rehab.
Which means she didn't take it upon herself to do it. She did it because she had to. And Rusty didn't know that.
And Raider was trying to like smooth things over, be like, but yes, she chose to go to rehab over jail. Like she's trying to like still, I guess, make Rusty not completely hate his mom. Right. Or make it seem better than what it actually is. Yeah.
And I feel like she's had to do that before with Jack. Something tells me she's had to do that with Jack before.
Well,
with her kids.
When Rusty asks her, do you know what enabling means?
She's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was legit how she said it, too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of undertones during this episode of, this is what's going to happen with Rusty. Because Sharon, was it Sharon who made a comment? About trusting, like you can't fully trust somebody or something like that. Something about trust, she said. And you could tell it was totally foreshadowing with Rusty.
And Rusty's like, I'm not going to go live with her, and all this other...
Right. Because Sharon Beck wanted him to visit for the weekend. And Rusty was like...
During the weekend,
During the weekend, yeah. And Rusty was like, I don't really want to. Like, he wants to, but he doesn't want to at the same time. Yeah. He wants to do it because it's his mom, and it's his mom. But he doesn't want to because he just is really put down by that she lied to him. Because she told him that she did it for herself and for him. And he's like, I don't want to be the one that she does it for. I want her to do it for herself. Which, that was a big thing. That was Rusty growing up.
Yeah. And the Raider's like, do you want me to go with you? Like,
she's like, I want to go with you. And she did. She ended up going with him to see Sharon Beck.
I thought it was when he was like, well, what are you getting out of it? Like, with him, like,
she just looks at him.
She's kind of getting like a do-over with kids.
Yes, exactly. Not that she did anything wrong with her kids, which we're going to be finding out this season. But yeah.
Jack messed things up a lot. So I guess with Rusty, it's just her chance to actually be a mother without having someone there constantly causing problems.
Right, or without having to give stories of why.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're doing it because they want to, and like they love you, and like that's what Jack did. That's just what Jack did. And what did we like about this episode? Everything.
Everything. It was a really good episode.
What I liked most about this episode is that there wasn't too many stories going on, and they focused heavily on Julio, and we don't get that often enough.
We don't.
Because we know little bits and pieces about Julio. It's been focusing on Julio. We've been seeing something's going on with him. And then I think this episode was the break when the woman touched his hand. It was like, essentially thanking him for all he's done. And he just starts crying. What did we not like about this episode? Sharon Beck coming back? I mean, I wanted her to come back, but...
Sharon Beck.
Why are you gonna lie to your boy like that? You're coming back. And it's not even... that we didn't like her being there, it was that
she was there under false pretenses.
You have already done a bunch of stuff to this boy and to all these people. Why?
Sharon Beck is a master manipulator.
Yes. Especially when Rusty's concerned.
Yes.
I think she'd sooner try to fill his head that everybody was against him than to try to make herself be sorry for something.
Yeah. Actually, acknowledge the fact that she has done things wrong. She would just rather pass the blame on other people.
Or, like, bury it under a rug or something.
Yeah.
Try to. And Rusty's not going to forget. Nobody there is going to forget.
No.
They're going to stand by Rusty, and the minute she steps out of bounds, they're going to be right there at his back.
Rusty's not a kid anymore, and he's realizing how his mom actually is.
Yes. And that was a huge step for that character. Yeah. So much happened in this episode that you don't even realize how much happened in this episode. That was a good thing about it. What are we rating it?
I'm going to rate it a 10.
I rated it a 10 too. It was amazing. It had its moments of comedy, but it also had its moments of heartbreaking drama. Julio. Sorry.
When Provenza said he like being like a 5'10" man.
Not to be me.
And Hobbs was like, if you were 5'10". That was hysterical.
Hobbs was back.
Yeah,
and so was Morales. Who we love both of them so much.
There needs to be more Morales.
I think he's in. He's like...
But I mean, like, in an episode.
More. Like a Morales episode? I want to know more about him.
Yes.
I want to know more about Hobbs.
I want to know what kind of gel he uses on his hair.
10. Because it was just very well-rounded. And it was... I can't say enough good things about this episode.
We'll do predictions.
Okay, go.
I predict we're going to hear more about Sharon Beck.
Yes. She's supposed to be in quite a few episodes this season. And I think they're back. Like... No. Like one after another.
Back to back?
Yeah.
I predict something's going on with Sanchez.
There you go. Yes. And we're going to be seeing a lot of their family this season, and I'm really jazzed about it. Not only are we seeing...
about it.
Not only are we going to hear about Sharon Rader's family, but we're also going to see Andy's family coming into play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited about that.
It's going to be a shit story.
Hilarious. Next episode looks really funny.
Yes.
The question of the day last week was, how long do you think Rusty's been seeing his mom? And we found out this episode that she's been around, I think she's been in contact with him since she started rehab. And she said she's been there 45 days.
Yes.
She said she's been there.
She said she's been there 45 days. Maybe she hasn't necessarily been in touch with him for 45 days, but
maybe about a month. At least 3 weeks. 3 weeks to a month, I'd say. That's
Really?
my estimate.
Really.
The winner of the question of the episode is Len48 because she's the only one that answered.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
We
Bag.
appreciate you.
People who don't participate can't win. It's going to be hilarious.
Frozen assets.
You just let this go.
I can't. Especially because the title is episode after that.
I know.
I guess they didn't like the cold.
Oh, the cold never bothered me anyway. God damn it.
These guys stretch more.
It's oh, I can't. Oh.
What?
I didn't realize how much taller I am than you. Like
I'm slouching. As I always do.
Hey guys, welcome to the show, and we got a good
ready?
I predict
Children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Okay, go. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride and make it easier.
Thank you.
That's what my
Mr.
basketball
Brady.
coach used to say all
Thank
the
you,
time.
Mr. Brady.
Because I didn't ever feel like playing.
Believable.
That's a lie. Actually, I was really good at basketball. Okay, anyway, next week we have Frozen Assets, which is episode 3 of season 3. I can't wait for it. The episode after Frozen Assets is called Letting It Go. Now, you can't possibly tell me that nobody was like, oh, wait. Not one person? Not
No.
one person did that.
No.
Not one?
one.
No?
No. Frozen
one.
assets and then letting it go. Really? Really?